My first question for you is, what is black on black rhyme?
It's a color with rhythm. Black on Black Rhyme is a group. What's that big word?
Collective?
No, it's
Conglomerate?
yeah, that word. It's a conglomerate of poets, artists, lovers of poetry. Not necessarily artists. Some people don't actually perform poetry, but poetry performs within them, and we come together and perform for the community, for the world, and make them feel better about their conditions, or try to get them to better their conditions in the form of art. The voice of the streets, the soles of the feet, the sugar in your sweet, the Miami in your heat. Yes, we the yards in your feet. Matter of fact, we the footprints in your yard. We the cocaine in your heart. We the heart in your cocaine and crack. We y'all back talk. We talk back.
Keith, when did you start Black on Black Rhyme?
Officially 1998. 1998. Started in my apartment, and it wasn't called Black on Black Rhyme. Was actually a poem at first back in mid-90s. I had a poem called Black on Black Rhyme. Then my first poetry book was called Black on Black Rhyme. Then we had the poetic drive-bys in 98. Then we moved to Mount Zions in August of 99, so we had to think of a name for the show. So we called it Black on Black Rhyme, and it became a movement.
All right. What's the Back Talk Poetry Troupe? How did that get started?
Back Talk and Black on Black Rhyme pretty much started at the same time. Although Black on Black Rhyme was an idea, like I say, as a poem first. Back Talk became an entity once we got ready to move the drive-bys from the apartment. I wanted to name the collective something. You know, the show is called Black on Black Rhyme, but the people that do it are Back Talk poets. Mm-hmm. And growing up, I always had a smart mouth, and they were like, "Don't be back talking, don't be back talking." But now we give the real back talking, they love it, and we don't get whipped for it. Sometimes we can get a whip for it though. You driving it.
What has?
And I have a question for you. Did you get a Philips TV? Cause that's your name.
No.
All right, go ahead.
But it does have my name on it.
I would take the S off if I was you.
No, because it's Phillips.
There's more than one. You original, right?
I mean, but when you ask who it is, it's Phillips.
I like that. I like that. I wrote that.
You know what I'm saying? I can just put it like with an apostrophe.
I feel you. Who TV?
It's Phillips.
Y'all supposed to answer the question. Come on, man. He's supposed to say it's mine. Go ahead.
What type of adversities have you gone through when in the beginning stages of putting together this movement?
Adversities per se to me didn't exist because of my motive behind it. I wasn't doing it for money. When I was doing it for drive-bys, it was a free show. Mm-hmm. And when we moved to the Mount Zions, and that's why we got a name for it, because people would see us perform, would come to the drive-bys. It come perform for our church or whatever. So it got to the point it was costing us to do it. So I said, let's just develop these artists and get a name. So now people can talk like, I want to get the Back Talk for the Black on Black Rhyme poets. And so we made money doing it. And we had a live CD we would sell. So even if we didn't get paid for the show, we would sell the CD, which was income for the poets, but the CDs would get us other gigs. So they helped out with a lot of adversities. We hustled, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when we hustled, we didn't do it because it was a necessity. We did it because it was a job per se, and we used that to fund other stuff. You know, it's nothing like going on vacation and you pay for it on your way to the vacation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't necessarily an adversity. We paid rent at Mount Zions, but we kind of made it at the door a lot sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know, and then we never really advertised hard. I kept the expenses down to actually keep it going. Like I wouldn't do major stuff to go in the hole, then couldn't continue, because it was more so about the movement than than the moment. Should I say? You know, I didn't want to do anything and risk not being able to doing it later. So I made small steps, but just went a long way with them.
Okay.
Helping out, you got now this right here this became an adversity, which is actually a positive thing. Graduation is my bigger adversity, because you have poets around 2, 3, 4 years, but then they graduate and gone. So you have to keep training. You know, new people trusting them. You know what I'm saying? Getting them to believe in what you, and you don't get them to believe in it. They believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody asked me, well, how do you get in Black Combat Rhyme? I said, you don't. Black Combat Rhyme get into you, because it's what you it's the reason why you're trying to be part of it. You could be a great poet and not have the passion for poetry. You can be a great poet and not have the time for poetry. You know, people come to Tallahassee not to be part of Black Combat. They going to school, so they have an agenda when they come here. That's just something that might grab a hold to them. So, but the biggest adversity I had was graduation. Still do. Cause you know you lose some great people and stuff. You know, but with change come dollars. Holla.
When you talk about some of the great people that have come through Black on Black Rhyme, who are some key members that really help progress the movement?
It's funny you say key member, because the first person comes to mind is probably Key Boy. No, well, actually somebody like Salam, he was there when I first started. He's still here. Wally B was there when I first started. He started Black Combat Rhyme Tampa. Ken Sation, which is the brother of Ali Langston, he was here when I first started. He started the third chapter of Black Combat Rhyme, which is Black Combat Rhyme for Lauderdale. Paul D was like the second wave. He started Black Combat Rhyme Atlanta. Shadow has been there since the drive-bys as well. He's actually the president and webmaster of Black Combat Rhyme. So a lot of the main ones are still involved per se, not necessarily in Tallahassee, but they still are key elements of it. And it's people like that made the movement move. Not you know everybody say Keith Rodgers, but it was other people just as important. I might have been the spark, but they kept that fire burning. So, and even stuff they do, sometimes it was their drive that made it bigger. You know, it might have been my money that funded it, but it was their ideas that, you know, Black Combat Rhyme Week, Hazel started that. You know, I was satisfied with just doing Thursday show. We need to get together and just have a celebration for us, not doing no show. Okay, it became Black Combat Rhyme Week.